Hey everybody, Tristan Adams, Modern Design Aquascaping. We specialize in building custom ponds, fountains, and waterfalls out of natural stone and wood. And today we are here in Knoxville, Tennessee, and this is going to be an amazing project. So as you can see, we already have a waterfall in the background, and this is special for me because my dad built this waterfall 17 years ago. I was 8 when this thing was first born. So what we're going to be doing is actually tearing this water feature out. They like the look of our newer water features better. Believe it or not, we have gotten better in the last 17 years. Crazy to think, but Dad's not even here on this one. He's off in Colorado building the water features, so I get to come out here and rebuild over top of this one, and I'm super happy to do so. So this reservoir that I am sitting in, where all of this gravel is, this is the underground water storage area for right now. This is actually going to be like a 6-inch deep pool, multiple feet by multiple feet wide. We're gonna have 2 cascades at the top, and then waterfall falling towards you guys, which you guys are sitting in what will be the new reservoir. So we really wanted to have a key spot in here where people can actually sit down, put their feet in the water, cool off a little bit. Kids can play, dogs can play, whatever is going on in there. This pool is going to be the place to do it. So that's gonna be pretty sweet. We have built ones like this in the past, and that was the inspiration behind the interaction area in the stream. So that being said, we should probably get to work or nothing will ever get done. So for now, I'm out. You guys stay tuned and we'll be back. Oh, have a termite.
Termite?
We're about 50 seconds in to starting this project, and this is our access zone for our machines to get in. So it's got 2 gates on it. They open this way, so you can probably see there is a slight issue with this ramp that I am standing on for opening this gate. Slightly in the way. The gate is not going to open, therefore the machines are not going to fit. And you can kind of see this thing really isn't in the best shape. It's probably about as old as that waterfall over there. So that being said, hopefully we can actually take this gate off. Who knows? We'll get a plan together. So, problems. Buenos días amigos, hoy estamos in Knoxville, Tennessee, construyendo una cascada. No, English, sorry. So I just wanted to share with you guys our rocks. So we just got boulders in. We got 15,000 pounds of stone allotted for this 15-foot long pondless waterfall. So I ended up with 21,000. Sometimes it happens. So if we're on your project and you're like, oh, we've got spare rocks left over to do other stuff with. No. I get extra so that we have what we need for the project, and most of the time, we haul some on. If you want me to install them, I will, but at an additional price. So that being said, I'd like you guys to take a look at the rocks we got, because this is the first time that I have ever gotten to go and pick out boulders for a project, and it makes me super happy to work with stones that I picked. We'll see where they all go, and for now, I'm out. We got work to do. Rain's coming in. This beautiful morning is, you can see, we're standing in the reservoir right now, and the reason that we couldn't get into this thing the last day that we were here is because someone wearing a blue shirt right now did bad math on the count of Aquablox panels the last day we were here. So that being said, we had half as many Aquablox as we needed. That kind of puts a showstopper on putting the reservoir in when you only got half the materials to make that happen. So what I'm doing right now is actually getting ready because we now have the number of Aquablox we need to properly install this reservoir. So what we did is we shifted gears and we got all of our waterfalls and everything shelved out, leveled off, and ready for rock. So as soon as we get this thing in, backfilled, liner installed, we are ready for boulders all the way up to the top. So, you know, you gotta switch gears sometimes when you can't do multiplication times 4, because that's pretty much what I messed up on. So don't judge me. I'm out. This one goes out to a YouTube guy. I'm sorry, I do not remember. But we got a comment on one of our last Pondless Water features. He loved our work, he said, but he hated all this dry stone when we finished up where the reservoir is. So what we're actually doing this time is we have this spare liner here. We're gonna take this spare liner. You can see we pulled back the 3x5s. And before we even set our waterfall framing rocks, we're gonna drape in this bib liner, that's what we call them. We're gonna drape that guy in here across and set our framers on top so that when the water falls, that last falls, instead of just hitting the rocks and disappearing, it is going to continue to stream out almost all the way to the vault lid. So by the time we actually get done rocking this thing in, you're literally gonna only have this tiny little hole of gravel where there is no running water. So you take this giant reservoir, disguise it with all that stuff and a bit of running water, and you're left with just a little bit of dry stone by the time that we get finished, and that should make one of the most natural looking reservoirs we've done. So hopefully we can end up putting a piece of driftwood in this. I have not got the yay or nay on pull the trigger, but I think that would just top it off, the icing on the cake, to have this tiny little area right down here with a beautiful driftwood stump just tucked right in the cracks and crevices in the rock right next to this vault lid, contouring it, making it an awesome place, even though there isn't usually, you know, a whole lot going on in the reservoir. But leave it to us to see how complicated you can make such a simple task. That's what I got. Phone call. I'm out. Alright guys, so what we have going on, you know that this is our pool area right in here. You can see we actually excavated this thing. So we have roughly a 300-gallon reservoir down there. And with 15 feet of stream, those of you that don't want to math this out, we do have a video on calculating water and motion, and if you ran that on this project, you would find you would be in a very, very bad scenario if we wouldn't have dug this pool that I am sitting in 6 inches deeper than the rest of this with the high spot to actually make it hold water when we're done. So even if you shut this thing off and you let it sit for a month, this little pool is going to hold its 8 inches of water depth. So that was a design process in my head when I ran the water and motion calculator, realized that if we foamed this pool up like we generally do, we just foam them up and it slowly drains out and down into the reservoir after shutting off. But once I ran that calculation, I realized that I am going to have to make this actually hold water. It needs to be watertight, or when this thing shuts off, drains out, and fires back up, you will be next to out of water based off the size of reservoir and the water and motion we have. But that being said, crisis avoided. I guess Dad assumed that I knew this, and I guess he was right, that I knew better than to check that. So we're good on that aspect. But this is the last boulder we set, and man, is this thing a beautiful seating rock. So you're gonna be sitting here, you've got a waterfall falling out of that side, you got a big waterfall coming in off this side, nice open water, and 8 inches deep of water for you to just chillax your feet in on a hot day. But we are now breaching towards the top and the finish line of this waterfall. It's really not gonna take that much more time. That being said, I'm gonna get back to work because I'm not making any money while sitting here. Nobody is, and yeah, I'm gonna keep making this pool happen. Getting to the last waterfall, so I'm excited. You guys stay tuned. We had talked about before we had the extra materials. We talked about adding a little bit of stuff just because we got the liner, we got the rocks, and I know it was an additional cost. So I talked to the homeowners yesterday and they gave us the okay to carve this area that you're looking at right now out. We just pretty much finished that. We got to get it leveled up, but instead of the waterfall starting right here and falling down the hill, we're actually bringing it around with a curve. We've got another waterfall right up here. So we added on about 5 feet, and it was a little bit of an additional cost, like I said, but we've now got a waterfall falling straight towards the porch area from the highest elevation, which will be over here. Nice little wraparound going into that pooling area, and we are off to the races. So I am going to get rocking and stop talking. So see you guys. Alrighty guys, so here we are, end of the project, everything's wrapped up, It has been an awesome time out here. We had beautiful weather. Luckily, the rain held out almost the entire time, except for this weekend. You can see clearly around me that there was a ton of rain over the course of the weekend. A bit cloudy because we didn't have all the mulch and everything down. The reservoir is completely full. Like, it ain't supposed to be this full unless it's off, but you can see with the design process of this thing how we dug it deeper to try and make sure we had some streaming area in there, that now we do have as little dry stone as possible. Definitely right now because it's over full, but this has been a great project. Access a little bit tight, beautiful rocks and a beautiful stream. Another good job. So for now, we are out of here, on to the next one. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Comment, like, and subscribe, please. Channel, follow follow us on Facebook for our daily updates for the most part, and you get to see more of this going on. So I'm out for now. Have a good one, guys.